In this video, we're going to focus on report writing, specifically supplemental report writing. We have two different kinds of reports. The first kind is the match report. If you have a game, you have to fill it out after each game. Oftentimes, a match report would include the list of players from each team and the names of team officials. You may have to check who was there or who was not there. You usually have to report the goals and misconduct. Some leagues may ask that you fill out not only the number of goals, but also who scored at what time. Typically, a match report requires a signature by a team official. Sometimes it is by just one team official, or sometimes it is by a team official from both teams. Some leagues may use an online system, while some other leagues may use traditional paper copy system. Now we also have the supplementary reports. Unlike match reports or game reports, you don't have to submit a supplemental report after every single game. You submit one as needed. Now, what makes you have to submit a supplemental report? When you have a red card in a game, you have to submit one. If you had a serious injury, if you had some technical area discipline issues, field inspection issues, breach of competition rules, spectator incidents, weather delays, and so on, you have to submit a report. And again, this may be an online system depending on the game that you're working on. Now, how you submit a supplemental report, when you have to submit it, or to whom you have to submit it, it really depends on the league. So make sure to check the referee manual to know how, when, and to whom you have to submit your report. Typically, a report is due within 48 hours after the game, but it may be sooner. Just a few things to remember. Assigners and other administrators will read your report. So once you submit your report, the job is not done because assigners and other administrators will take a look at your report, and if it is incomplete, then they will return the report to you to fix the mistakes. Your report is an official record used by disciplinary committees to determine what kind of penalties must be given to a player or to a bench personnel or to a team. Therefore, your report must be written professionally and clearly, and only with facts, without any subjective opinions. One thing to remember, pronouns are confusing. You're talking about two players from an incident that happened on a U18 girls team. Now, because two players that you are writing about are both females, you use she. Now, at some point, it's no longer clear who you are referring to by the word she. So try to use the names rather than pronouns when possible. As report writing 101, some of the basic information you have to have may include any of these things, or the combination of these things. Of course, if you are writing a report on a weather delay, you may not have to have much of what's on the screen, but typically you have to have information of this nature. Who did what to whom? You need to have the name, the jersey number, and the team. You also have to use the FIFA and IFAB terminology to describe the incident. A player slapped his or her opponent. To slap is not a word used in any of the FIFA or IFAB documents. Striking is the term to use. You have to record when and where an incident happened. At the 10th minute of the match, in front of Team A's bench. And what did you do as the referee? Did you send them off? Did you give a warning? And what happened after? What was the restart? Did the player who just got sent off leave the field of play without causing any issues? Now let's look at a few examples and see how we can fix these reports. This is the first example. A girl lost her cool after getting fouled roughly by stepping on the ankle of the individual that fouled her. The individual that fouled her received a caution for the foul, and this young lady received another caution for her reaction, which ended up being her second, then equals a send-off. I believe that it wasn't a rough foul, but an action that unsporting not needed. Number 13 knew the card was coming after she did it. A few issues here. For example, who lost her cool? And what about professional language? Think about confusing statements, grammatical errors, or spelling errors. The word roughly implies excessive force or brutality. Probably then that should have been violent conduct or send-off. I believe X, that's an opinion. Number 13 knew. How do you know? Did you ask number 13? If you never use expressions like I believe and I think ever in your match report or supplemental report, that will be a good thing. So how do you fix this? One of the ways to fix this report can be like this. At the 58th minute, in front of the Rockford United bench, Lansing kickers number 13 Christy Boss, with an excessive force, stepped on the foot of Rockford United number 7 Kehlani Berghard. A red card was shown to Ms. Boss for serious foul play. Ms. Boss sat on the bench for the remainder of the match without any other incident. Play was restarted with a direct free kick for Rockford United. So here it is clear about the players, names, numbers, and teams. The time and location are also clear. The reason for the send-off is also clearly stated, and it only has facts, what the referee saw and what happened. And you have enough detail, but it is also concise. Example 2. Two players were fighting for a ball when they hit heads. Both were slow to get up, so I called the coaches to come check on their players after I asked them if they were okay. One of the girls was crying, and the other did not say anything. I think she was hurt worse than the other girl. The coaches came on to check on their girls. It took the coach from the home team a while to get her girl off the field. I think she was taken to the hospital because I saw her going to the car with a person I thought was her mom. Some issues here again. I think she was hurt worse than the other girl. Who was hurt? The girl that was crying? Or the girl that did not say anything? Sometimes a player who's unconscious is not able to even cry. So maybe the one that didn't say anything was more hurt. Or maybe the one that did not say anything was really not that much in a bad condition, so she was okay, and the girl who was crying was more hurt. You never know who was really hurt. Also, there's no information whatsoever when this happened. And what happened with the players? Did the players end up playing in the game again later in the match? Or did they get subbed out, never to be returned to the match? We cannot tell from this report. Again, lots of I think and I thought. Let's fix this one. At the 29th minute, Capitals number 14, Sue Grobel, and crew 24, Caitlin Keck, hit their heads as they were challenging for an aerial ball in the Capitals penalty area. Both players immediately fell to the ground. Play was stopped, and coaches were called on to evaluate their players. Ms. Grobel was able to walk off on her own. After about 3 minutes, Ms. Tech was helped off by her coach. Ms. Tech was bleeding from a cut above her eye. As Ms. Tech and her coach reached the touchline, an adult took Ms. Tech and left the field. Ms. Tech did not return before the end of the match. Ms. Grobel returned to play in the second half. Play was restarted with a drop ball. Here you have the time, the location, the team name, the individual name, and the number. You know who was hurt. You know what happened to either of these players. So this is a good report. Now let's look at some more examples. This is a good example. This is about second caution send-off. Remember, it's not just the direct send-off that you need to write a report for. Even second caution send-off may require a supplementary report. Check your league referee handbook or the regulation book. In the 69th minute of the match, Kingdom's number 9, Carlos Foligno, was shown the red card and sent off for receiving a second caution in the same match. Foligno received his first caution for dissent in the 67th minute and the second caution for entering the field of play without the referee's permission in the 69th minute. Foligno left the field of play in a timely manner without causing any further incidents. This is a good example of a second caution supplementary report. What about a straight red card? Here's a dog saw. In the 60th minute of the match, Rush 22, Ron Grobel, was shown the red card and sent off for denying an obvious goal-scoring opportunity by foul, with no attempt to play the ball. The offense occurred inside the penalty area approximately 8 yards from the goal, where Grobel pulled down FC Detroit's Tim Daters from behind to prevent Daters' imminent goal-scoring opportunity. Grobel left the field of play with no further incidents, and play was restarted with a penalty kick. Dog saw red card. It was inside the penalty area, but no attempt to play the ball. These are all the pieces of information you have to have. Again, you know where it happened, when it happened, who were involved, and what happened after the red card was shown. Let's look at bench behavior. During a stoppage of play in the 89th minute, Jeff Donsifer, the head coach of T-City United, was shown the red card and sent off for leaving his technical area to show dissent towards the referee in a provocative and inflammatory manner. The fourth official observed that Donsifer had jumped up from the technical area, wildly waving his arms and loudly yelling at the referee. Donsifer had previously been warned in the 37th minute by the fourth official to refrain from any further minor actions of disagreement and to stay calm and in his team's technical area. Donsifer left the field without further incident. Again, not only do you see details that you need, you also see appropriate language from FIFA and IFAB, showing dissent towards the referee in a provocative and inflammatory manner. That is what you need to justify and explain your red card to a coach. Let's see if something's wrong with the field. During the officials' pre-game inspection of the field, it was discovered that the field did not have corner flags. The field managers were unable to find them. Both coaches agreed to play the game, and the entire game was played without corner flags. Or weather delays. In the 74th minute, the referee stopped play because of an incoming lightning storm. Per the league rules, after 2 hours, the referee team observed that the field conditions were no longer playable, as there was standing water in both penalty areas. After consulting with both teams in the league office about the fact that the inclement weather was not subsiding, the field conditions were not playable, and the field complex curfew was approaching, it was determined and agreed to by all parties that the safest course of action was for the referee to abandon the match. Enough detail, but still concise. It does not say who won the game or anything like that, but you have all the information you need. So to sum up, only facts, only terminology from FIFA and IFAB, avoid pronouns when possible, relevant details. You need details, but write details in a concise way. But if it's too much to remember, at the end of the day, this is my message. When in doubt, call your assigner. They will help you write the report. It's better to call your assigner and write a report together than write a report, send it in, and have it come back to you, and then you just still struggle to fit it out in an appropriate way. Also, if your game was assigned on game officials, you go to game officials and then find an incident report button. That will give you the report that you can submit online. Our advice, even if the report is not due until 48 hours from the game time, fit it out within 24 hours so that you have the next 24 hours to fix your inevitable mistakes. If you're not familiar with writing supplemental reports, you will make mistakes. That happens, but you want to have enough time for yourself to correct those errors. And on a related topic to report writing, when there's referee assault or abuse, you must submit a report as well. Contact these 3 people so that they're able to take appropriate action.